What if I told you that one man lived not one, not two, but 3 lives in a single lifetime? A cursed boy who ran away from home, a broken dreamer who lost everything, and finally, a teacher who rebuilt hope from ruins. This is the story of a man who refused to die, even when life killed him 3 times. This is the story of the man who lived 3 lives. He was born in a village no one remembered, a place where poverty was deeper than the soil itself. His father drank more than he worked, and his mother coughed blood every night. At just 10 years old, the boy already knew what hunger felt like. He knew the sting of a beating and the loneliness of being unloved. People whispered that he was cursed. And one night, when the shadows of despair grew too heavy, the boy believed them. He ran away. With nothing but fear in his heart, he hopped onto a moving train, clinging to the edge as rain poured over his fragile frame. He slept under benches, begged for scraps, and wept silently at night. At the age of 10, his first life had begun, the life of a survivor. He found work in a factory, a world of smoke and iron where children labored like machines. For 12 hours a day, he carried loads twice his size. He had no childhood, no laughter, only exhaustion. And then, at 14, tragedy struck. A machine malfunction crushed his leg. He was dragged out screaming, his dream of becoming an athlete dying before it was ever born. The doctors said he would never walk properly again. In that moment, the boy's first life ended. But instead of breaking, he chose to rise. With a limp and a scarred body, he discovered a new love: books. He taught himself to read under the dim light of a street lamp because he could not afford school. His hunger had changed. It was no longer for food, but for knowledge. He devoured words like a starving man devours bread. Years later, against all odds, he passed an entrance exam and became a teacher. For the first time in his life, he wore clean clothes, stood in front of children, and felt like he belonged. The cursed boy was now a dreamer, a man who dared to believe in the impossible. But destiny is often cruel. One night, the skies broke open, and a monstrous flood swept through his village. The waters did not spare anyone. His home, his books, his students, even his family, everything was swallowed by the river's rage. In a single night, his second life drowned. He had built himself from nothing, only to lose it all again. Alone and broken, he wandered into the city, carrying only the memories of what he had lost. It was under a broken bridge that he found his purpose again. There, he saw children who were just like him once, hungry, barefoot, invisible to the world. Something stirred inside him. He picked up a piece of chalk and began to write on the dirt. At first, the children stared, confused. But then, one by one, they gathered around him. He became their teacher, not in a classroom, but in the open air, under the bridge, where broken dreams came to life again. People mocked him. They called him a beggar teaching beggars. But he did not stop. Slowly, mothers began to send their children. Strangers donated pencils, paper, and food. The bridge became his school. His scars became his lessons. His pain became his power. Years passed. His hair turned silver, but his fire burned brighter than ever. Dozens of children grew up under his guidance. Some became engineers, some teachers, and one boy became a doctor. When the teacher fell sick and his old wounds caught up to him, it was this very doctor, his student, who saved his life. The circle had closed. The boy who had once been saved had now saved his savior. And the man who was once cursed was finally blessed. They once called him cursed, but history remembers him as the teacher who lived 3 lives. The survivor, the dreamer, the rebuilder. His greatest lesson was not written in books. His greatest lesson was this: no matter how many times life buries you, you can rise again. Stronger, brighter, unstoppable. Because sometimes, the greatest men are not those who live long lives, but those who live many lives in one.